We have already looked at the fact that when Substance Designer boots up, we are greeted by a welcome dialog that gives us the ability to create either a new substance or a new MDL graph. If we don't have the welcome dialog set to show up, not to worry, as there are two more ways in which we can start to create an MDL graph. Closing the welcome box then, let's come to the File menu, where we again find the commands that let us create new substance and MDL graphs, whilst a third option comes to us via the toolbar sitting just above the graph view, where we have a little sphere icon that, if we click, opens up the new MDL graph options. Just as with substance graphs, we can get a quick start by choosing the kind of shader type that we want to build. You can see here that we have a metallic anisotropic option, along with some standard metal rough templates as well. Let's take a quick look at what some of these have to offer before we come back and use the empty template to build our shader from scratch. Choosing the metal rough template, let's append the word test to our new graph, and then click OK to start the building process, which means that we now have everything we need in order to build a basic metal rough shader in MDL. We can also see that this has automatically been applied to our default geometry and that iRay has been set as the render engine in the 3D view. If we double click on some empty space in the graph, we can see the parameters that the artist who created this base MDL has exposed for us. So we have color, normal, roughness, metallic and specular options, all parameters that we are used to seeing when we select the metal rough template for a new substance graph. Let's come to the Explorer window then, and close out the MDL graph by right-clicking the package and choosing the Close option. And then, again, let's click the New MDL Graph button, and this time choose the empty template, calling it Anisotropic Metal. After which we can click the OK button. What we see now is just a single node in the view, which is in fact the material output. Now, unlike a substance graph, which can have multiple outputs, an MDL graph has just one, and everything that we use to create the shader here needs to ultimately flow into this. With an Explorer window open and focused on our exercise files and meshes folder then, let's drag and drop the shader ball mesh onto the 3D view, and then right-click in some empty space on the graph and choose the View in 3D View option, assigning this to whichever portion of the shader ball we would like, which should turn pure black in the view, as we have yet to build our material, of course. What we can do now then is move on to using just a handful of nodes in order to demonstrate just how quickly and easily we can build a basic shader, whilst hopefully at the same time whetting our appetite for a deeper investigation of the MDL tools found inside Substance Designer.